Honestly, it's just the way things played out, the cards that were at hand.
That has to stop. That has to stop. In this planet, this world, that's why we have this sport.
Teofimo Lopez leaks audio of Terence, Crawford, and referee discussing to help Shakur in the ring. And he's doubling down on the biggest conspiracy claim in recent boxing talk. Lopez is suggesting Crawford and the official weren't just talking, but planning to tip the scales in Shakur's favor. This isn't just post-fight frustration. Teo is openly accusing the sport's top figures of orchestrating advantage inside the ring, painting this as a scandal that questions fairness and integrity at the highest level of boxing.
He's still leading at throwing combinations. He's in front of the counter. The crowd got second cheer back as Lopez shut off a little bit.
Teofimo Lopez fires back, claiming he dominated the fight with brutal body shots and sharp combinations, insisting his offense was landing clean and often. He paints a picture of a fighter in control, only to be denied by what he suggests were questionable calls and interference in the ring. Lopez is framing this as more than just a loss. He's signaling that his strategy was effective, but the officials and perhaps Shakur's camp manipulated the outcome against him.
I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. didn't hold back, unleashing a fiery critique of the refereeing, claiming blatant bias and suggesting a deliberate attempt to silence him. He frames his son's performance as dominant and unfairly undermined, questioning the integrity of the officials. This isn't just a father defending his fighter, it's an explosive allegation that the sport itself may have conspired against Teofimo, adding fuel to the ongoing controversy surrounding Shakur Stevenson's victory.
What the other two referees were looking at, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta beat the champ to be the champ, and my son heard that bull.
Eddie Hearn's reaction cuts straight to the unpredictability of the Lopez camp. He highlights the chaos and intensity surrounding Teofimo Sr., admitting that controlling him is nearly impossible. This underscores the drama off the canvas, showing that the controversy isn't just in the ring, it's in every word, every move. Teofimo Sr.'s boldness fuels the fire, making this saga as much about spectacle and accusations as it is about boxing itself.
I done gave up.
That's what people were saying to me. Oh, is there a script? Oh, you're going to take it easier.
Chael Shannon paints a clear picture of Teofimo's struggle inside the ring. He wasn't just fighting Shakur Stevenson, he was constantly trying to manage distance, escape danger, and recover from shots. The commentary shows a fighter pushed to the edge, forced to alternate between attacking and defending. It emphasizes that despite Teofimo's efforts, Shakur's pressure left him with no room to breathe, highlighting the tactical dominance that defined this matchup.
From him, he was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore. So now he's got to.
Eddie Hearn's take really highlights just how unpredictable Teofimo Lopez Sr. can be. The man operates outside the usual rules of boxing etiquette, making every corner moment explosive and tense. No one can control him, and his outbursts often steal the spotlight from the fighters themselves. This unpredictability keeps the media, fans, and even promoters on edge, turning every fight into as much drama outside the ring as inside it.
It's a bit wild, to be honest with you. I don't like that stuff, if I'm honest, but Teofimo's Teofimo. You could never control him. You can never predict what he's going to do or say. And that...
Duke McKenzie doesn't hold back. And honestly, he's hitting the nail on the head. Teofimo Lopez looked completely out of his depth against Shakur Stevenson. This wasn't just a bad night, it was a glaring mismatch. Every movement, every punch he threw lacked precision, showing that at this level, natural talent alone isn't enough. The gap between him and a true elite fighter has never been clearer.
AJ said, and everybody knows, he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game. And he was way out of his level, way out of his...
Ade Oladipo lays it out perfectly. Shakur Stevenson didn't just win, he dominated. Teofimo Lopez, despite his size and strength, looked helpless as Shakur controlled the ring from every angle. On both the front and back foot, Teo was bullied, his attacks predictable and easily countered. Every time he overcommitted, Shakur punished him with crisp combinations and single, precise shots, turning what should have been a competitive bout into a masterclass in boxing.
He's a big, strong guy, and Shakur just bullied him, outboxed him on the back foot, outboxed him on the front foot. Every time Teo came in and kind of tripped himself, going over his front foot, the punches and bunches and just the single shots were just beautiful from Shakur.
Teofimo Lopez looked completely lost against Shakur Stevenson's brilliance. As the Wade concept pointed out, he couldn't get past Shakur's lead hand, his jab completely shutting down any momentum. Every attempt to cut off the ring or reach Stevenson's outside foot failed. Instead of creating angles, Lopez stepped right into Shakur's traps, walking into counters time and again. This wasn't just a tactical defeat, it was a positional nightmare. Stevenson's control of the ring, timing, and movement made Teo's punches ineffective, turning what should have been an orthodox southpaw chess match into a one-sided display of technical dominance.
He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur was taking the outside track. Teo was stepping on the inside lane and then fading to his right side, right into the left hand of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, in the first round, Shakur didn't really even throw a backhand. It was just jab.
Clarissa Shields sums it up perfectly. Shakur Stevenson was a clinical masterpiece in the ring. From the opening bell, his jab to the body and head set the pace, dictating every exchange. Even blood didn't slow him down. He remained precise, calculated, and relentless. Lopez, despite his reputation, never found a rhythm. Shakur's ability to mix athleticism with technical mastery made every attack look effortless. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. He proved why he's considered one of the smartest, most complete fighters in boxing today.
I know boxing, and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body, and we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is stoppage. I can't ask for nothing else.
Daniel Jacobs' advice to Teofimo Lopez was brutally honest. Sometimes sheer courage isn't enough against a superior boxer. Lopez needed to go balls to the wall, but even that wouldn't erase the gap in skill and ring IQ. Facing Stevenson, it wasn't just about harder effort, it was about outthinking a master strategist. Lopez's attempts to match pace or land big shots were easily countered. This clip highlights the harsh reality of elite boxing. Talent and precision always trump aggression when executed by a fighter of Shakur's caliber.
Who? For Teofimo. Hey, yo, sometimes you just gotta grab your nuts and you just gotta put balls to the wall, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. And sometimes when you think you can keep up with a boxer that's superior.
Bomac nails the point. Shakur Stevenson possesses a boxing mind that is simply elite. Every movement, every feint, and every combination is calculated to perfection. Once he sets his strategy, he executes it flawlessly, leaving opponents like Teofimo Lopez scrambling. The question of how to beat him is almost rhetorical. If you try, you'll likely get picked apart. Stevenson's intelligence in the ring is as dangerous as his speed and power. This wasn't luck, it was pure mastery. Against a fighter like this, hesitation, poor angles, or predictable attacks become fatal mistakes, and Lopez experienced that firsthand.
You know, Shakur just got a great boxing mind. You know, that's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you know, once he put his mind to it, he's gonna get the job done.
What is it gonna take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid.
Bruce Carrington didn't hold back, and why should he? Teofimo Lopez looked completely helpless from round one. Bruce lays it bare. Teo's habitual mistakes cost him every inch of the ring, doubling up on his right hand, turning square, switching southpaw at the wrong moments. He played right into Shakur Stevenson's counters every single time. This wasn't just a loss, it was a clinic in positional incompetence. Shakur's reflexes, footwork, and countering made Lopez look like a novice trying to fight a chess grandmaster. The fight was so one-sided that Easy Night doesn't even begin to describe it. If Lopez thought he could rely on aggression or power, Shakur had already neutralized every plan.
Man, he made it easy. You know, I was saying, like, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not going to work, bro. You're not going to take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Daniel Jacobs' reaction is a brutal but accurate assessment. Teofimo Lopez wasn't just outboxed, he was outclassed. Even a former fan can see it clearly. Shakur Stevenson's mastery was undeniable. Every jab, every feint, every subtle movement was designed to exploit Lopez's weaknesses. Talent, timing, and precision completely overshadowed Lopez's grit or heart. This wasn't a fight about toughness, it was about skill, and Stevenson's execution left Lopez looking like an amateur stepping into a masterclass. Daniel Jacobs points out the obvious. The difference in skill set was night and day. Teofimo's inability to adjust, combined with Shakur's flawless ring IQ, made the contest a complete mismatch. By the end, it was evident Lopez isn't ready for this level of competition, and Shakur Stevenson just reaffirmed why he's considered one of boxing's most intelligent and dangerous fighters today.
Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur, and I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk, been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent, and Shakur displayed that.
The Wade concept breaks down Teofimo Lopez's nightmare. He had no answer for Shakur Stevenson's precision and movement. Lopez couldn't get past the jab, couldn't cut the ring, and struggled to reach the outside foot, the most basic positional fundamentals. Instead of creating angles or stepping correctly, Lopez repeatedly walked into Shakur's traps, fading into counters, and making every mistake imaginable in an orthodox southpaw matchup. This was textbook exploitation of poor fundamentals. Stevenson's outside track movement was surgical, exploiting every misstep. Lopez's lack of adaptation, combined with Shakur's technical brilliance, made it obvious that this fight was over before it even began. Watching Lopez flounder against a fighter like Stevenson exposes a dangerous gap in his ability to compete at the elite level. And this performance proves why Shakur is firmly in the top echelon of boxing today.
He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This is an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur...
Devin Haney's observation hits hard. Something about Teofimo Lopez looked completely off before the fight, and it showed inside the ring. His lack of focus and preparation was palpable. He spent more time talking pre-fight than addressing the reality of facing Shakur Stevenson. This wasn't just bad timing or bad strategy, it was negligence. Against a fighter like Stevenson, who capitalizes on every mistake, being mentally unprepared is a death sentence. Lopez's lack of urgency and concentration allowed Shakur to dictate pace, landing counters and controlling the ring with surgical precision. Even his physical strength couldn't compensate for his lack of focus. Haney's critique makes it clear. Lopez's defeat wasn't accidental. It was a consequence of underestimating a brilliant, disciplined opponent and stepping into the ring unprepared against one of the smartest boxers in the sport.
What did you make of it?
At the end of the day, if you look at interviews before the fight, I was saying that, something looked off about him. He looked like he just wasn't really focused on the fight. He said my name before the fight more than he even said.
Bruce Carrington once again makes it brutally clear Shakur Stevenson made Teofimo Lopez look like an amateur. From the opening bell, Stevenson's reflexes and countering neutralized every attack Lopez attempted. This wasn't a competitive fight. It was a masterclass in dominance, with Lopez unable to land anything meaningful. Every forward step he took was anticipated and countered. Every punch met with superior timing. Stevenson's control of the ring and ability to read Lopez turned the contest into a one-sided showcase of skill versus inefficiency. This performance confirms what many suspected. Lopez, despite his hype, isn't ready to contend with elite, technically gifted fighters. Stevenson's execution left no doubt. The fight was over before Lopez realized what hit him. It's a harsh reminder that heart alone cannot overcome precision, timing, and intelligence in the ring.
Man, Shakur looked phenomenal, you know, dominant performance. What'd you think about that?
Man, he made it easy. You know, I was saying, like, if Tio was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Tio, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not going to work, bro. You're not going to take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Tio at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Keyshawn Davis perfectly captures the backstage disbelief. Teofimo Lopez was dismantled effortlessly. The fight wasn't close. Stevenson's control was so dominant that Lopez looked more like a punching bag than a challenger. Keyshawn highlights the surreal nature of the event. Even the most confident supporters couldn't comprehend how easily Stevenson executed his plan. Lopez's lack of adaptability, combined with his repeated positional errors, allowed Stevenson to pick him apart at will. The fact that Stevenson was calling out future opponents while still in control of the ring emphasizes the disparity in skill and preparation. Lopez's defeat is a cautionary tale. Without ring IQ, discipline, and adaptability, no level of aggression can compete with a fighter of Stevenson's caliber. This wasn't just a win, it was a brutal statement on the gap between hype and true elite boxing talent.
Bro, I'm just going crazy. Like, oh, he's beating him up. It's easy work. Like, he's beating Tio up. Like, it's not even a close fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I was just happy for him. Super happy for him.
Man, he called out Conor Ben. You guys both trying to maybe co-main and main event in the UK with all these UK guys?
Hey, man, how big this event was, bro. Like, I ain't tripping. Let's do it.
After watching Teofimo Lopez get completely outclassed, it's clear Shakur Stevenson isn't just a fighter. He's a chess master in the ring. Lopez's aggression, power, and hype meant nothing against Stevenson's precision, timing, and intelligence. Every mistake, every misstep was exploited, leaving Lopez looking lost and exposed. This fight wasn't close. It was a statement. Talent, discipline, and ring IQ always win. If you think Teofimo can recover from this, think again. Stevenson set a new standard at 140 lbs. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe Lopez can ever come back? Or has Stevenson just cemented himself as untouchable in this division?